We are living in very, very spooky times, dangerous times. Charlie Kirk was shot at obviously a conservative. Obviously, him being a conservative, he was shot at a rally today in Utah. And had it not been for Charlie Kirk and his viewpoint and his reach and his ideology, Trump probably wouldn't have been reelected. And personally, I agree with a lot of the points that Charlie Kirk has made. Not all, but I agree with a lot of the points that Charlie Kirk has made. And I think he may make a recovery. I think Charlie might make it. And that sounds crazy. The shot, I don't know if you all have seen the shot. The shot is just, I mean, the shot is diabolical. Now, I understand that people have their thoughts about Trump and the right wing, left wing. I mean, I get it. But there is no reason to gun down a man in cold blood at an event in Utah. No reason at all. It's extremely unfortunate that we live in a world where, once again, this is not about being red or blue. To me, this is not about that. This is about what we clearly know is right and what we clearly know is fucking wrong. And when it comes to politics and hip hop, they're synonymous. I think most artists live in a socioeconomic state, and their music always reflects the socioeconomic state of wherever they are, whether they're rich, whether they're poor, what's going on in their environments, etc., etc. I mean, this man has, I believe, 2 children. At an event, wide open, sniper fucking hits him in the neck. That is fucking ridiculous. No matter what he views or what he thinks, it's fucking ridiculous. When the truth be told, no one wants to fucking use the restroom with transgenders. This is what this fucking is, man. Nobody wants to use the restroom with transgenders. No one wants their daughters going into the restroom and finding a man with his dick out pissing. No one wants that. We just fucking don't. We don't. Most people don't have a problem with gay people. It's the agenda that's being pushed. That's the reality of it. Most people don't have a problem with gay people. We don't like the perverted or the perversion that is pushed by a minority of that population or of that group. No one likes it. We don't like the perversions that the fucking rap artists are pushing. Understand that there are things on both sides that conservatives like him don't fucking like. Truth be told, a lot of us don't fucking like it. We don't. We don't. Whether you voted for Trump or whether you fucking despise him, there are certain things that as a unit we just don't like. And a lot of that is the common sense that Charlie Kirk stood for. Now, Fucking confirmed. He's dead. Fuck, man. Fuck, man.
As we were talking about the political violence,
He didn't make it.
Continues to be heightened. Jamie, I'm going to get your initial reaction because we are just following this dynamic situation.
He didn't make it.
Unfortunate. The video is making the rounds on social media, and President Trump saying Charlie Kirk is dead. What are you thinking right now?
First initial words, just absolute shock that this happened.
Wow.
This happened so quickly. It was something that was so unexpected, and at an event where, you know, my colleagues had said that there's so many people excited to speak with Charlie Kirk, excited to have the opportunity to hear from him. And so I think that this is just mostly so shocking that this happened, especially, you know, in a red state like Utah. Sometimes, you know, not to politicize anything, but of course politics sometimes makes headway in it, but I think just shocking is the word to use.
All right, very good. I know you got to get back to work. Amy, thank you so much for joining us here.
Charlie Kirk has passed away. Shot for what he believes. In cold blood. I don't think people understand what's about to happen in this country. Breaking turning point. USA founder Charlie Kirk has died at age 31 after being shot out of college he'd been in Utah. President Trump confirms he leaves behind his wife and 2 fucking children. I don't think y'all understand what's about to unleash in this country. There's about to be no fucking mercy. I think that we need to get back to a point where I gotta be careful. Oh Lord, I gotta be careful. I have to be so careful. We have to get back. There's about to be a zero tolerance on crime in America. There's about to be a zero tolerance of crime in America. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Gun laws. It's about to be a lot of shit going down. Wow. Feel it. Gun laws. Yeah, America's about to turn into a nightmare because there are certain things that the government is going to have to put into place. The killing is getting out of hand. And the fact that they killed Charlie Kirk in a red state, I think people are pushing the Trump administration to great length. They want him to be the demon. Now, if Trump wasn't a demon before, he surely will be now. He surely will be now.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you all.
Congratulations. Mateo, he'll be 5 at the end of this month. Yeah, it's great. His first job.
Yes. Yeah.
He's a wild guy. It's great. You can have a long career here and a short drive home.
That's right. Yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
Glad you're here. We'll try to get everybody under control here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Any questions right now? That was just a swearing in of the new member there of Congress, and obviously he may not even gotten the news as of yet that President Trump saying Charlie Kirk no longer with us, passing away after this fatal shooting at this event there on that college campus in Utah. Again, this is just a live picture right now. Randy, I hope you're still with us, but as we kind of shift back gears to us, this is a very much an active scene, potentially a shooter on the loose, a manhunt right now. What is going through law enforcement's mind? What are they doing?
So this is an exceedingly difficult for law enforcement. You have a large number. It appears that there was a rifle shot. I'm gonna say it's probably a long gun because of the distance that apparently was involved here. So if in fact there's a rifle involved, and where Charlie Kirk was hit is a vital organ. It was a kill shot with one shot. That shows a skill level, and that skill level is something that's going to be examined here by investigators. They have to lock down the entire campus. There's thousands of people there. Did this individual already make the escape and get out of that area? Where they have to locate where the shot came from to find that trajectory. This is a massive investigation.
Yeah,
and this clearly is a planned assassination.
And of course, we're still learning, and obviously the investigation continues. The motive uncertain right now, unconfirmed at this point. We were speaking with different reporters there on the ground, including with Deseret News, saying they had tickets to this event, but no security, no real metal detectors. So it's hard to kind of understand who exactly attended. Does that complicate things in your eyes? The fact that they really don't have a list of people who were in attendance, or they didn't go through metal detectors at all?
What will complicate the investigation is the mass amount of people that are there. Now, I think that at most of the events that Charlie Kirk has done, most of them that I have seen have been outdoor events where I don't think they have kept records of people that go there. There would be, sometimes there are ticket sales, but it doesn't mean that they would be keeping records of individuals who are there. Now, if this shooting took place from a building, if the sniper was ensconced in an office or a dormitory, this is key information. Where did the shooter?
There will be no more outdoor events for conservatives. There will be no more outdoor events. That's done. You know why the Democrats will probably still have them? Nobody's gunning them niggas down. But what's about to happen is hard right conservatives are definitely filling away. And they are going to be gunning. They are going to be gunning for the left wing. Or am I saying that right? Left wing, right wing? Yeah. Yeah. It's over. It's over. Because niggas wanted to kill Charlie.
Post when, before the shooting, how long was he there? There's so many unanswered questions here that this investigation, they're going to have to go through all of the video that was taken at this. There'll be hundreds of videos that were taken by cell phone cameras, which may possess a clue as to who the shooter is, where he was. But this all takes time to unravel. So this is a major investigation that's going to be very, very complicated.
Yeah, and they're still searching for him at this point. I do want to put up a post on social media from the governor there in Utah. This coming in from Governor Cox saying, I just got off the phone with President Trump, working with the FBI, Utah law enforcement. We will bring justice to the individual responsible for this tragedy. Abby and I are heartbroken. We are praying for Charlie's wife, daughter, and son. And since this is obviously a conservative commentator, a political commentator, does the FBI take the lead? Is the federal in charge? Who's in charge on the ground right now in Utah, Randy?
It would be the local police agency that covers that area, probably Salt Lake Police Department. They would have the jurisdiction here. Right now, this would be considered a state crime. Doesn't mean that we have seen that the federal government is very much willing to step in at appropriate times in order to take over prosecutions. But right now, this scene will be covered by the local police.
How wide is this net that law enforcement is cast trying to find this individual? Because it was a very cramped area, potentially, as we were talking about it, just some of the social media video coming down about where this shot may or may not have come to. How wide is the net? Are they concerned that they're still on campus? They fled? What's the perspective on that, Randy?
Yeah, and that's the crux of the situation is how do you contain the suspect? And this is from the moment that the shot rang out. That's when law enforcement response becomes immediate. But what was the personnel situation there? How many police officers were in attendance? Did they have private security there? Were they able to contain the scene effectively? These are situations where, if the individual was in a building somewhere, once that shot is fired,
I think people are pushing the Trump administration.
In just minutes, he could be elsewhere. He could be in a car. He could be off campus, and
now
that,
if Trump
of course,
wasn't
will
a demon
complicate
before,
this investigation even further.
Yeah, and that is obviously, it's very difficult in the chaos, the scene immediately after, hundreds, thousands of people on hand for this there on campus. And you mentioned just the amount of social media, the amount of video on hand. For schools that obviously get state funding, potentially get federal funding as well, is there any regulation in your eyes that you can kind of point to that has some of these cameras, maybe not metal detectors going into some of these places, but are schools at all required to have video camera? Is that something they're going to be leaning on right away?
Well, they will absolutely be looking at any security footage that would be from cameras that are on campus. There are no requirements that I'm aware of from a federal level that says, if you're an institution of higher learning, you have to have, so many surveillance cameras. I don't believe that exists. But we all know that, cameras are everywhere at this time, and campuses, of course, have had, issues of violence in the past. So the question is, on the campus of this, remember, this isn't a big university. This is a local college. What are their security arrangements, and what are the surveillance camera setups of that college? These are all part of the jurisdictional questions that have to be asked and examined very, very quickly.
And I want to ask you, because the suspect still very much at large right now, a large manhunt right now underway, as of course we are kind of trying to follow it. The very latest is still that the suspect is at large, and potentially if they do apprehend an individual, how do they tie them to this scene? If they don't have a gun, or if they aren't necessarily very distinguishable on camera, how do they tie an individual to a crime that was committed?
Through old-fashioned police work. That's how they're going to do it. There will be, a massive amount of forensic investigation that takes place as well. The location where they do determine where the shooter was located. There will be, that area will be examined by forensics. Will the weapon have been left there because the individual didn't want to be seen carrying it? That'll be crucial to identifying the individual. Will there have been any fingerprints? Will there be any DNA left at the scene? These are all questions that are part of the investigation. Now, while this is still fresh, this is the meat and bones of police investigations. This is what law enforcement does.
Yeah,
and so the investigators, if they have every resource available to them now, both state, local, and federal.
All right, very good. Randy, thank you so much for breaking it down. I appreciate your time, your flexibility. Randy Sutton, founder of the Wounded Blue. Obviously, the training is out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time here on Live Now.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let's continue on as we're just kind of taking in that scene there of that Orem, Utah tragedy unfolded. Charlie Kirk, the conservative commentator, fatally shot here as he was speaking at an event, coincidentally speaking about active shooters, transgender shooters there on that campus at UVU. We're hearing different lawmakers, including Ron DeSantis, saying, "Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Casey and I are praying for his family. Charlie was a warrior for liberty, and his murder is a tragedy for our nation." Also, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, saying, "Heartbroken, outraged by the assassination of Charlie Kirk. He was an incredible husband and father, a great American. May he rest in eternal peace with our Lord." Let's take you right now out to different witnesses there on the ground, on the scene, still taking it all in. Let's listen into what they saw, what they heard today.
That was one thing that we all just instinctively did, and then we started running. But in my head, I was looking right at Charlie, and you could just see his neck just bleeding and bleeding, and so we didn't know, and we just ran and got out of there. But it was a blessing to get out safe, and yeah.
Just how was it like when everything happened? I know you said that your sister was a little bit away from you. Was it scary not knowing what had happened?
Yeah, no, after I was like, I'm okay, I instantly went to my sister. I'm like, where's my sister? Started screaming for my sister, and we ran inside, and we were running up and down the halls, and it was just like, what is going on? Why isn't everyone running? Why are we getting out of here? But I had found my sister, and I just knew if I made sure she was safe that everything would be okay. So that was probably my one thought that was driving me then, but yeah.
What you still have the adrenaline still pumping? Like, have you been able to digest everything, or are you still just kind of, this is so surreal?
Yeah, no, it's a little surreal. Like, especially then, it felt like a dream. I'm like, this isn't real. And, but I've been called by multiple friends, family, so I've been able to talk about it and just kind of process it, and just a lot of support right away, and seeing all the other students around campus, praying with each other, just crying with each other, because it's gonna last for a minute, but yeah.
So you heard one shot, you said you might have seen some gun smoke, and just you saw him get hit. Just tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you hear the pop, and I just saw the blood gushing, and in my head I saw some smoke right there, and it wasn't very loud.
Just listening in there, eyewitnesses describing what they saw, what they heard on campus. And let's quickly shift gears as we entered a new hour, 5 o'clock on the East Coast, of course, 3 o'clock there in Orem, Utah. We're joined right now by Fox News' Connor Hansen. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. What's the latest? What can you tell us?
Well, Andy, unfortunately, just in the past few minutes, President Trump actually took to social media to announce that Charlie Kirk has passed away from that gunshot wound, also posting a bit of a tribute along with it. There's also been some confusion. The university initially saying the shooter had been in custody. Now we're not so sure that's the case.
I heard a loud bang.
After hearing a gunshot in the middle of campus, a crowd started running for safety. Witnesses described seeing the speaker, Charlie Kirk, being struck in the neck area and falling from his chair.
I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is. And then he fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming.
A spokesperson from Utah Valley University says the shot was fired from a building about 200 yards away and that the campus closed for the rest of the day. Former Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz was at the event and witnessed the shooting.
As soon as that shot went out, he fell back into his left, and everybody hit the deck.
Charlie Kirk became a highly influential conservative activist and influencer after starting Turning Point USA. The group has a presence at thousands of universities and high schools and regularly holds campus events. Kirk is credited for helping President Trump win over young voters and win back the White House. Support for Kirk after the shooting has been bipartisan.
I mean, it's just another horrible act of political violence that has no place in our country.
and the White House Situation Room had been monitoring this since that shot was fired. And I'll just read you a piece of what President Trump had to say, calling Charlie Kirk legendary. He said, quote, "No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania, and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you." Back to you, Andy.
All right, thank you so much. A dark day there in Utah, and so many of this political circles there, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. Connor Hansen, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, great reporting there as always. President Trump making that announcement that the conservative commentator Charlie Kirk fatally shot on the campus, as we heard the chaotic scene, showing some of those images there. So many different people, media on hand for this. We do have just this a couple live pictures as well, as President Trump confirming this. Charlie Kirk dead, has died after the shooting. The suspect still very much at large. That is the most recent details that we can provide. We do have plenty of law enforcement. We did see SWAT vehicles on hand, a lockdown still in place. There are plenty of reporters there. Traffic moving around the campus. But you can see just the amount of force, the amount of people there on campus. You can see their state, like we heard from Randy Sutton, likely taking the lead on this at this point, but walking around. So we'll keep an eye on all of these, but different reaction from lawmakers. Charlie Kirk was a prominent face, a prominent voice within those conservative circles, and was so influential in moving that youth votes to the polls to potentially get President Trump into the White House. And different comments, including from Representative Nancy Mace, saying our hearts are break for the Kirk family, Turning Point USA, and all who had the privilege of knowing Charlie personally. He was a beacon of true leadership, rooted deeply in his faith as a Christian, his principles as a conservative, and his integrity as a man. Charlie was one of the brightest lights of our time, whose sole mission was to share the Word of God and to promote peace. Tragically, he was senselessly taken from us in cold blood. So that coming in from lawmaker Nancy Mace on social media. We've heard from Ron DeSantis. We've heard from Secretary of State Marco Rubio. So plenty of outpouring of love, prayers, thoughts for the family there on the Republican side. And we are monitoring all the latest. John Fetterman, the Democrat, saying our family grieves for Charlie Kirk's family. We must collectively find a way forward during these polarized times. And as I spoke with Cami Mondo about that, the political violence, the temperature that needs to be lowered, obviously concern for that after two assassination attempts on then candidate Donald Trump. And coincidentally, also, they are going to seat a jury in that second assassination attempt case for Ryan Ruth in Fort Pierce, Florida. That likely coming today, opening statements tomorrow. So obviously all of this transpiring very quickly. So just taking you back out, live pictures here on Live Now from Fox or Utah, different locations, different live shots for reporters there on the ground. Again, just another live picture as still at large right now, a manhunt, a massive one for the suspect following this shooting. They are saying just a single shot rang out on the campus as he was answering a question. Let's take you back out, though, to different lawmakers, or excuse me, different witnesses watching unfold what happened, including one of those people from Connor Hansen's story. Let's listen into this here on Live Now.
And decided to go watch Charlie Kirk between my classes, so.
My name's Paris. I just wanted to come and watch what I thought would be a civil conversation, and it turned completely different.
What did you see?
I looked down when it happened, but...
So basically, I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he like fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
Can you describe just, did he appear to be moving afterward, or what?
Not at all. I personally believe he was dead on impact.
Oh my goodness. What happened after that? What did you see?
Everyone got down. Everyone was so scared, and I just grabbed her, and my boss was with us, which is her mom. She was like, run, and we finally got up and followed the crowd, and I just kept holding her. I don't even have my shoes on. I left my keys, and everyone's just like scared. Like it's traumatizing. Like, you know, it scares. Like, I don't even want to go to school tomorrow, you know.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that statement.
Yeah, I'm scared to go to school, but.
You heard the one shot. Were there multiple shots or?
I think just one shot straight into Charlie Kirk, and that was it. And I think they got him.
And did you see the person who fired the shot or anything like that?
No, I just knew that it came to the right of me and went just directly into his heart.
I got a picture of him.
Did you? What did you see as far as? I mean, was the crowd? How was the crowd reacting to him? I mean, he is somewhat known for being provocative, but what was going on beforehand? What was he talking about?
So the first student got up and they were talking about religion, Mormonism, and Christianity, and the second student to get up was talking about transgenderism and how gun violence has been very frequent with that community, and that is when it happened. Pretty ironic.
Right after, during, right on that topic.
Yeah, it's when he got shot in the heart.
Yeah.
What did you all see? You're joining us. What did you see?
Well, I was about to enter the building. I heard what I thought was a gunshot, and I hurried and took cover. And then I saw the students running out, and I saw her. She was panicking. I thought she was having a panic attack. So then I grabbed her, and we ran through the tunnel, and then just brought her to my car over here to get her to calm down. So, yeah.
You?
I was watching from pretty close up, and I heard a pop, and I thought, no, that nobody's shooting firecrackers, right? This is the middle of the day. And then I watched a fountain of blood come out of the side of his neck like a water fountain. And it was surreal. Everyone dropped, and I was like, where's the gunman? I don't see any gunman. And then I dropped, because I'm just a very logical thinker like that. And so, yeah, and then a friend of mine drove me over here, just barely dropped me off, but he got a picture of the gunman, and it's pretty embarrassing. He got his pants pulled down as they took him down, and he sent me a picture. He was wearing garment bottoms, or what looked like white knee shorts. Just, you know, Utah.
Obviously a volatile situation, and what was the crowd's reaction when all of this happened? You said you were up, you were standing there, you know, a little frozen, it sounds like. What was the crowd's reaction?
Everyone freaked out and screamed, and then after everyone was leaving, there was just a lot of confusion until the cops started making everyone leave, because people were still standing around and talking and in clusters, but the majority had run. And so, you know, after that, the police forced everyone in, and they started roping off the courtyard in yellow police tape. And then as we were walking through the hall, policemen with large... The campus was being shut down.
I'll see with the police. Was there a police presence there from the beginning? You know, how did it unfold?
Yeah, so there definitely was a police presence there. I saw some on top of the balcony above, and some below. And of course, you have Kirk's own kind of bodyguards around. But I will definitely say we saw a lot more after the shooting, of course.
Of course. You said you may have seen something?
Well, I'm just saying Charlie Kirk is a hero.
He is. Absolutely.
He's absolutely a hero.
We don't know if he's still alive.
Everybody in there was very concerned for him. And all I could think of was go towards Charlie, because I just want to know if he was okay. You know, a lot of people like him. He's a very courageous man.
What did you see? Can you just recap what you saw?
Yeah, I saw him just go over to the side. So everybody then dispersed and ran into the buildings or all over. But so I went toward Charlie, and then pretty soon they got somebody. The police arrested someone. They were dragging him all the way down. Older man, white hair, blue shirt, you know, so.
All right, just listening in there, and of course, some of those images coming on social media, but according to the university, suspect is still at large at this hour after this all unfolded several hours ago. So Obviously, a lockdown still in place. Classes have been canceled. We are monitoring just this scene right now there on campus in Orem, Utah, just down the road from Salt Lake City, from the capital in Utah. And we're hearing plenty of reaction right now, including from the president, who really broke the news that Charlie Kirk had died. And he also says, in honor of Charlie Kirk, a truly great American patriot, I am ordering all American flags throughout the United States lowered to half-mast until Sunday evening at 6 p.m. So you'll see the red, white, and blue there just at half-mast for the next several days to honor Charlie Kirk after this fatal shooting there. Also, Joe Biden, the former president, saying there is no place in our country for this kind of violence. It must end now. Jill and I are praying for Charlie Kirk's family and loved ones. Also, from the vice president and others talking about this, including Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, saying, rest in peace to my friend Charlie Kirk. My heart is with his loved ones at this devastating time. This inexcusable violence belongs nowhere in a civilized society. Charlie was a brave man, a devoted husband, a loving father, and a great patriot. Please join me in praying for his family and our country. From Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, saying, Jeanette and I are devastated. Charlie Kirk's commitment to America's future generations and sense of patriotism will resonate for decades to come. May the Lord bless Charlie and his family. And J.D. Vance, the vice president, saying, eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord, speaking about Charlie Kirk there, the fatal shooting. I believe we also have a post from Charlie Kirk's wife, obviously leaving behind a wife and 2 children, also reciting scripture here after this fatal shooting that happened there on the campus, speaking to students, speaking to hundreds of people in their teens, in their 20s, and even potentially some parents, some members of the community there on the ground in that location. And coincidentally, he was also speaking about gun violence, speaking about recent shootings. So we're seeing this here on Live Now from Fox, as I believe soon enough, some of these flags will be lowered to half-mast. I believe this one's at the top of the White House right now as they're zooming in, so it will take place for the next several days. And we're also getting different sound in right now. Witnesses on the ground speaking about what they heard. Let's listen in.
Inside the glass walls next in the food court, and everybody just started running in and screaming. The girls were crying. It was just insane. People were saying there was a shooter. Me and my friend, we were just like, holy cow, what is going on? We just ran out the back doors and just went back to school. And then everything got locked down. They're not letting kids leave right now. It's just crazy.
Now, when did you hear about Charlie Kirk coming to campus, and why did you want to see him?
My friend Derek, he actually sent me a reel on Instagram about Charlie Kirk coming about a week ago. And then my cousin recently was telling me about how he can get extra credit if you go and see Charlie Kirk at this event. And
that was from a local high school, correct?
Yeah, and it was from Skyridge, I know, was getting extra credit. And so I knew a bunch of like high schoolers that were going there, and everybody was coming down. And it was also Wolverine Wednesday, so there was pizza. It was just so many, it was just crazy.
Where were you? You heard the shot, is that correct? Where were you when you heard the shot?
I was inside UVU still. I was walking out the glass doors.
Okay, and when you walked out, you mentioned just people, I guess, in panic, screaming and running in all directions?
Yeah, it was just insane.
Okay. How are you processing what you saw? I mean, you've been walking around kind of milling about. There's a lot of students that are walking around milling about, but it's been a few hours now. I mean, how are you kind of recounting the day's events here and processing all of that internally?
I'm still shaken. It's hard to process because I'm just sitting in class and they're like, oh my gosh, he's announced dead. He's died, and it's just insane. And then we're looking at these videos because there's videos of him being shot. It's just I feel like I'm still in shock right now. It's just insane.
What did you want to hear from Charlie? You were excited to hear him speak, right?
I don't know a lot about Charlie, but I was just interested in what other people were going to say to Charlie and what was going to happen. And something happened, which is just insane.
Anything else you want to share with us today? Thanks for a few minutes, and glad you're okay.
I don't know. I just feel like it was something that totally could have been stopped. They would have maybe checked bags or done something to protect him. And because they had cops above on the walkways. They had cops above on the walkways who were stopping what I assume people from throwing stuff down towards him. So I wonder why there wasn't any level of security taken to stop people around, like in front of him or anything like that.
So you didn't see any true security measures other than maybe from afar, is that correct?
Yeah, it was just, there was not a lot of cops there. I've seen more cops at UVU during sporting events than right now, this is the most amount of kids I've ever seen at UVU. Just insane.
Thanks for coming over and talking. I'm glad you're okay, and thanks for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And I hope, obviously...
All right, just listening in there, a witness describing the scene and also describing the lack of
security at the scene, folks. A lack of security at the scene. And what are they supposed to do with that information? I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck the world is coming to. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Once again, man, so unfortunate. So unfortunate. A man with an opinion gunned down in cold blood. Similar to Malcolm or King, man with an opinion. No matter the color, no matter the creed. Leaves behind his wife, 2 children, and an administration that probably wouldn't be if it wasn't for Charlie. So, regardless of how you feel about this is not about how you fucking feel. It doesn't matter if you wanted to vote for Kamala or if you fucking hate Trump. This isn't about that at all. This is not about that. This is about so much fucking more. I can't even get into it. It's about so much fucking more. Ideology, methodology, principle. That's what this is about. So much more, man. I need to log off for a little bit. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I know Ton Dog live. Ton Dog live as fuck.
What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you. Man, it's tough. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with us.
I know Ton
Obviously,
Dog
I've been
live.
getting updates all morning. I just got off of the Millionaire Morning Show, and everybody was letting me know what was going on in my chat. And then there's a lot of people that's actually texting me in some higher up positions. I don't want to say that it's a lot of people that was texting me. I kind of delayed it for about 30 minutes as far as going live or even talking about it on the Millionaire Morning Show, simply because I know that this is going to be something that we got to cover, and I have to be respectful to the family. But it is news, and it's something that we got to cover, and that Charlie Kirk obviously has been shot, and all of you are familiar with that. We're going to go over the coverage. I'm going to show y'all the live updates. We're going to go over whatever the news is saying. And then we're going to go on different platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, so that we can show you guys exactly who the alleged suspect is. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you the actual footage of the shot itself, just for censorship purposes. I did not. I can't, bro. I just can't, man. I can't anymore, bro. Saying it, but I don't have any official source from that.
before he left that I thought was really important. He said Charlie had been on his faith journey. He had grown in his faith journey. And I think that's something that's really abundantly obvious as people have watched his career. Not only did he evolve with the culture, and I think start to really dial in to the deep and evil roots of some of the cultural sicknesses that we experience, in fact, that we're experiencing right now. But I think also he nudged our culture along with him, and he did it. He's been a part of this revolution technologically that we've seen. And I think of, you've mentioned this a couple of times over the course of the broadcast, all of the people who have seen Charlie on their little screens, on their iPhones, almost every day, sometimes multiple times a day, just as they're scrolling through TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Twitter. And those people, Gen Z, I mean, he's almost as close to monoculture as Gen Z gets. Everybody felt like they knew Charlie Kirk. Even if they didn't like Charlie Kirk, they felt like they knew Charlie Kirk. They felt like they knew Charlie Kirk, and they saw him grow up. And so I think you've mentioned this a couple of times. We are, if anything, underestimating as a society right now how profoundly this will reverberate on the culture.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if the left fully comprehends how important he was to us. I really don't. I'm not sure they appreciate. They tried to marginalize him and make him into this fringy character who was just some sort of nutcase who would go on campuses and stir up shit. And that is such a misrepresentation of this noble person. And I don't have my team sending me the nasty fucking things that people are posting on Blue Sky and the idiocy happening on MSNBC. I can't tolerate it right now. I can't handle it right now. All I can handle is figuring out who did it, who fucking did this, and bringing them to justice and making sure they don't hurt anybody else. And then doing everything we can to do two things: supporting his family, including his work family, and making damn sure that every message he brought is screamed from the mountaintop in greater volume on more college campuses. In fact, I'm prepared to go. I'll go anywhere that the Turning Point team wants me to go. I will say exactly what Charlie would have said anywhere they ask me to. And all of my conservative friends need to do the same and say it the way Charlie would have said it, boldly and unafraid. That's the only possible way through this, to live up to his legacy, continue his messaging, and support the enormous family that loved him. He wouldn't have it any other way. He would be so angry at us if he thought that even one of us cowered now, if even one of us cowered or stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. He this is over the course of his career, his faith grew. And we were just talking about this, but it was really something that you could see happening in real time. And I think
Donald Trump officially has confirmed that Charlie Kirk has passed away. The message is: the great, even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all.
You guys want to know something? I was just telling a good friend of mine. I said the Republicans will be in the White House for the next 12 years. And he said, nigga, that is bold of you to say that. I said, I guarantee you the White House will be red for the next 12 years. For the next 3 terms, the White House will be red. Democrats, y'all cooked. Y'all are fucking cooked. It's done. We may never go back to America as you know it. We may never go back to that. I can guarantee you that. Fuck how you feel. Fuck what you thought. I told him. I said, for the next 12 years. What's going on right now in America so critical. It is so crucial. If it wasn't the truth, why are they killing niggas for it? That's what you gotta understand. If it wasn't the fucking truth, why are they killing niggas who are spitting this shit? If it wasn't the truth. Trump assassination didn't go through. Missed. Charlie hit, got. If it wasn't the truth, why are they shooting at him? Y'all might as well buckle up. Crime about to get cleaned up. This is now this is now out of the hands of the people. Guarantee you, Trump administration, if they didn't, they now have free reign to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Absolutely. And you know what's going to happen? The American people will be behind them. There will be nothing off limits at this point. Y'all would have been better off letting niggas just talk. Would have been better off. See, the problem is now. See, you got the red. You got the red with the money coming out now. People was chilling, laying dormant, letting them talk. They even kind of pushed Trump shit under the rug. The Trump assassination attempt, they kind of pushed that under the rug. This shit right here is about to kick a lot of motherfuckers in the face. Absolutely. National Guard is about to be deployed everywhere. ICE is about to fucking run rampant. Like, that's what this is boiling down to at this point. All the things that we may have not wanted is about to happen. Charlie dead now. Charlie gone. All he was doing was providing perspective from his side. Just like when the Democrats get online, they try to provide perspective from their side. That is now out of the window. They are gunning down and killing people who are speaking what is what in this country. That are actually telling the truth as to what is going on in this country. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. Once again, if it wasn't the fucking truth, why are they killing niggas for it? That's what you got to tell yourself. And that's the question that nobody is asking.
Especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania, and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. So Charlie Kirk is officially passed away. He was 31 years old. 31 years old. Wife Erica apparently had 2 children, and officially before September 11th, September 10th, and the 4:00 Eastern hour PM, Charlie Kirk. None of us actually expected for this to be a thing. Nobody actually expected for this to be a thing. Nobody woke up this morning and said that, yo, I think that a tragedy is going to happen.
Facts.
Nobody. This is so evil. This is so ugly. So brokenhearted. The only thing that I just feel like saying right now is just praying for his family, bro. Just want to pray for his family. I'm literally a modern day martyr. A modern day martyr. Y'all so weak. Liberals are so weak. Y'all so weak. Y'all such cupcakes. These extreme people is so cupcake. You can't even take a person that's spreading the word and advocating for American values and actually being a reflection of what a strong traditional family is supposed to be about, Y'all so corny. Y'all so weak. You so weak. And y'all think that this is supposed to stop somebody. You don't even realize that what y'all just unleashed
I told y'all
is about to be probably the biggest wave
I told y'all
of people that is going to go so tough in the paint
it's
on
over.
what they believe in now more than ever. And people are absolutely are about to just 100. If you thought that this was going to be a thing that was going to ease up or allow for y'all to be able to start doing all of the trash and having your liberal way and your little liberal talking points, if you thought that this was going to be anything than a straight up assault on everything that is anti-American, everything that is anti-God, everything that is anti-family, what you don't realize is that this is probably going to be the worst thing for you.
Yeah.
This is literally probably going to be the worst thing for you.
Cooked. Absolutely cooked. I'm done, man. I'm off this bitch. Sick of you motherfuckers. Fucking ridiculous. Just absolutely sick of this shit, man.